We were talking earlier about Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and that was, set a little later. But that was the movie. Like when I was in high school, man, I wanted to be Jess Spicoli. I was like, I used to mimic him, all the time. Like, dude, we used to quote that movie left and right, and it was a hoot, and small little funny little tidbit, but just kind of how the world goes round department. But I was in Dazed and Confused, this one iconic movie about high school in the 80s. In Fast Times at Ridgemont High, there's an actor named Sonny Carl Davis, who's a Texas actor and a wonderful, wonderful actor. And he plays the guy in Fast Times that is when he brings his breakfast back to Brad at the counter in the restaurant to return it because he's not 100% satisfied. And Brad says, well, you've eaten like 3/4 of it. And he goes, well, I don't care. I want it. And he goes, they get into a big argument, and the manager, he ends up cussing at the customer, and the manager takes over and whatnot. But anyway, that actor is played by Sonny Carl Davis. Well, before I actually did Fast Times at Ridgemont High, I worked on a movie in '89 called Pair of Aces, which is with Willie Nelson and Chris Christopherson. And it was a made-for-TV movie on CBS. And Sonny played my brother in that movie. We played murderous brothers. And Sonny was actually almost like a mentor to me because he's older than I am, and he had been in the movie business a lot longer than me, and he was kind of showing me the ropes and stuff, and we've remained friends, since. And but then he later went on to work on Dazed and Confused was directed by Richard Linklater, and Sonny went on to work with Richard Linklater on a movie called Bernie. So it's just kind of an interesting crossing paths and just the way things worked out and all that kind of stuff.